What's going on, everyone? This is Galactic Jack, and today I wanted to touch on the A2 Hercules. Now, this is not going to be a ship review. This is not going to be an in-depth walkthrough of the ship. We're going to be looking at the screen here for the most part. If you want to do something else, play another game, play Star Citizen, or whatever you want to do, go ahead and do that. It's really just words. So I wanted to touch on the price of the A2 and how many people call it a niche ship. I agree but disagree. I agree that the ship is a bit pricey for what it is, but at the same time, a lot of the components, a lot of the defenses have not been brought and will not be brought into the game until later on. When I say defenses, I'm talking about it's armor. Okay, the armor is not yet in the game. Now, niche. They call it niche because the people that call this ship niche are looking at Star Citizen from a 1 foot in front of you position. They are not looking down range. They're not looking, 30 feet in front of them. They're looking right in front of their feet. They're looking at their toes. Okay. What I mean by that is there's no true ground combat right now, and we are limited to 50 players on any given server, right? Okay, that, in my opinion, is a bad way to look at this ship. Okay, it is scattered with guns all over itself. Size fives, size six. If you fix it, this ship is going to wreck. Anybody dumb enough to approach it, right, that is not bringing the ruckus, is going to be dealt with swiftly. Okay? And this is where the whole niche thing comes in. Okay. Before we get on what it can do outside of combat, we're going to talk about what it will be able to do inside of combat and how far I envision CIG taking it. Okay. Ground combat. We know it can bomb. We know it can do strafe missions, gun runs, right? It goes in low and just, shoots the shit out of anything in its path, right? Okay. We realize that. A lot of people are saying, oh, but this is just going to be org events, and that's it. It's going to be orgs protecting themselves from other orgs. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm going to tell you why I think that. Okay. Everything I am about to say is my opinion, but I guarantee you, if you look at this video a year from now, 2 years from now, later on, you're going to see what I'm trying to get at right now. Okay. In the same way that we have bounty hunter missions right now, I believe we're going to have ground bombing runs and gun runs contracted to us from the UEEN. Okay. The UEEN, I believe they are going to give us contract missions to go out and bomb certain criminals and certain alien races, aka the Vanduul. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why I say that. The last video I made, well, a video or two ago, I made I was talking about the Vanduul and that entire lore piece, right? It specifically said that in the lore, it said that the UEE Navy goes from time to time on bombing missions on Vanduul territory. Okay. All right. So that being said, we know without a shadow of a doubt that there more than likely will be contracts for you to go out and do this with the A2, making yourself money, right? Okay. Outside of the UEE contracts, Overwatch, this shit will be able to linger overhead of a group of contractors in a pioneer working. It'll be able to linger overhead and pick off people from afar that are trying to come in. Above the A2, you're going to want a Redeemer, whatever like that to cover its top. I don't think people are thinking about this. I don't think people are thinking about the contract missions that the A2 will be able to go on. Now, yes, some people are saying, oh, but I can just use a hammerhead for that. Yes and no. Yes, you can put a hammerhead as a Overwatch ship while Pioneers are working. But it's not that good in atmosphere. Not as good as the A2. Okay, not as good as the A2. All right. On top of this, on top of this, outside of combat, and those are just a few things that I named for combat oriented missions that you will be able to run more than likely with the A2. Outside of combat, now we're going to square this up against the Hammerhead since everybody does this anyway. All right, I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe it's just because they both have a lot of guns and they're priced similar, but we're going to square it up to the Hammerhead. Inside of combat, we know what it can do. We know what the Hammerhead can do. It's a escort ship. Okay. Outside of combat, what can the Hammerhead do? I'll wait. Okay, so we know that outside of combat missions, the Hammerhead can't do much, right? Guess what? The A2 can. While you're down and you're not doing anything combat related, the A2 has 216 plus. I say plus because we're not exactly sure where this is going to land. First it was 234, now it's 216. Could be higher, could be lower. I don't know. We're just going to call it 216 right now. 216 standard cargo units of space on this bad boy. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking in your head, but I have a Caterpillar that I can use. You know, it has 576, or I have a C2 that has 700 something. You know, 696 SCU of space. You're absolutely right. But guess what? Neither of those ships have that the A2 has. Armor, heavy armor. Okay, heavy armor. This ship is protected. It literally is a flying fortress. Heavy armor, when it is implemented into the game, will shine. It will absolutely shine. Okay? You're going to shoot that ship, and a lot of the firepower that you use is going to bounce off of the armor. Okay? Unless you bring the ruckus, unless you bring some torpedoes, unless you bring some massive Gatlings. I'm talking massive. You're not touching this ship. Okay? You're not going to touch this ship. And it really harkens back to the whole whatever you can't fight, run away from. Okay? There's only a few ships almost available right now. I'm talking about the starfighters, Ion and Inferno, that will be able to probably put a dent in this ship, if not take it down. Okay? And maybe catch it. So you do have to watch out for those. Still, to the point, this ship can run cargo. 216 SU is nothing to shake a finger at, right? All right. Now, not just any cargo. Yes, you can run Laranite. Yes, you can run. Let's see real quick here what we have. Yes, you can run all of these things. Dovine, you know, all of these things. Titanium, diamond, whatever, gold. Sure, you can run that, right? But when it comes to the A2, you really want to stick to the high value commodities. I'm talking audio-visual equipment, okay? I'm talking fireworks, souvenirs, construction materials. Now, there will be more. These few things come when events come, all right? When there are events, that's when these pop up, apparently. Now, later on down the line, there will be high value commodity. There will be high value commodity that you can purchase regularly. Okay. So outside of combat, you know, this thing is still a beast. You fill this up with something of that high value and you run it through safe or dangerous space. Man, you're working with something here. Okay. The Hammerhead can't do that. Outside of combat, you are a sitting ship in the hangar. Okay. There's nothing else you're going to do with it. All right. With the A2, you can make your money and buy the bombs, buy the munitions that you need. All right. If you're doing combat only, you're going to take fire, you're going to take damage. There will be repairs. But if you're running high value commodity equipment, you know, you may not, you're probably not going to run into people if you're in safe space. Not dangerous. Okay. Now, if you are in dangerous space, yeah, you might want to bring some people along, actually. But it still goes to say that this ship can make money outside of combat. And that's the point that I really want to drill home. I know I said it a few times, but that's just how important it is to me. Okay. Do I own this ship? For now, I'm using it as a CCU upgrade to the Polaris, but that's a ways off. That's a ways off. So I'm going to enjoy it. And yeah, I think that there is a place for the A2. And I think that somebody that owns an A2 can go far. I really think. I think that actually you can start with the A2, put some good stuff in there and make some money off of it. All right. Now you want to be careful because later on, fuel is going to be a thing and it's going to be pretty expensive, I imagine. So you don't want to put something that gives you bad returns, and literally all the returns that you get go into refueling, the ship. That's bad. That's an upside down turn. All right, you don't want to do that. So yeah, if you're on the ropes with the A2, if you own the A2, not on the ropes, if you have the A2, rest assured that, look, man, you will be able to make money with it. Okay, you're going to be able to make money with this ship, unlike the ship that it's always compared to, the Hammerhead. All right, so there will be more to come. I wanted to touch on those two things: cargo, high value cargo hauling outside of combat, and the combat contracts, bombing runs, gun runs. Okay, these will exist. It is not a niche ship to me if I can still haul cargo with it. Yes, I can use another ship, but the only other ship that is as protected as the A2 is the M2 and the Anvil Carrack that's available right now. Okay. Now, when armor comes into place, there's probably going to be other ships. I believe the Liberator, but who wants to haul with a Liberator, right? I believe it has 400 SCU and it has medium to heavy armor. So I don't know if that means both or one or the other. They're not sure yet. We'll see. But there's a place for this ship in the verse, and it's not so niche as people would like to call it. All right. It's not so niche. You don't have to be a combat vet to realize how important a ship like this is to ground troops. Okay. It's very important. It's vital. Okay. It's invaluable. All right. So with that being said, this has been Galactic Jack, and I will see you guys in the verse. Peace.